Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Takedown with your host, Craig.
The nipple conversation threw me.
John.
I am not going to get a picture of you tattooed anywhere on me, ever, for any bet.
Damn it. What do I do with my teenage boy self?
And Jeff the Ref.
Schedule be damned. Don't make me DQ.
Let's get it on. Welcome to episode 10 of T3 Podcast Network's Takedown. This is Craig and Jeff, joined via digital audio Skyping by John because he was too lazy to wake up on time. Welcome, everybody.
I am preventing Corona.
No.
I'm a Corona wrestler. I wrestle Corona. Apparently, if you wrestle, you get Corona, and WWE just doesn't care. But we'll get into it.
They don't care. Oh, gentlemen, there's so much to talk about this week. But first, let's remind everybody, follow us on the socials at T3 Network. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at T3 Network. You can email us, tripletbag@gmail.com. You can go to our website, T3podcastnetwork.com, or call our hotline or text us, 202-556-4433. So now that we had that out of the way, guys, do we want to talk about the fact that WWE is dangerous for all wrestlers because they don't care about Corona?
But they're essential.
Or do we want to talk about the fact that wrestling in general is dangerous for all females because it's been quite a shitty couple weeks for everything?
They're all getting broken.
Yeah. So we've had, in, 1 month, we've had basically 2 events happen where it almost feels weird to do an episode because of all the shit that's going on in the world.
Uh-huh.
So I want to say it was last Friday, probably, maybe Thursday, that the hashtag Speaking Out started to come out, where they started talking about all of these, mostly male, but sometimes also female, wrestlers, promoters, that sort of stuff. And all of these women started finally coming out and saying the various things that had happened to them, either just as fans and getting these weird DMs, or just as people trying to get into the business and being like, oh, you have to do this with me if you want to be in a match.
Yeah.
There was I want to say, an absorbent amount of stories that came out of people under 18 getting DMs from wrestlers.
What's that guy's name? Harvey Weinstein?
Harvey Weinstein, yeah. It was like that,
yeah.
except like 50 wrestlers.
Uh-huh. All different promotions.
All different promotions. I will say most of it was overseas, in like OTT, in English wrestling and Irish wrestling, that sort of stuff. But there was still a lot that came out from NXT UK, because we had Jordan Devlin, current NXT UK champion, or current Cruiserweight champion, because they had to do this interim thing now. He had some stuff come out about him. We had David Starr, who's pretty popular and just getting signed by WWE, and AEW come out. We had Sammy Guevara's stuff come out.
Oh, yeah.
Which that one was, I mean, in comparison to everything else, it wasn't as bad, but it still was bad. Because him was audio recording of saying he basically wanted to rape Sasha Banks.
Yeah, but, when you're 20, 22,
right,
something
I think,
that, people say things.
And he said that
he fessed up, as soon as that
Oh, he did, yeah. He definitely fessed up.
He apologized and spoke to her. And what?
It's just great, isn't it?
Why are you sighing?
Because to think that this kind of stuff doesn't go on a normal basis in a company like WWE or AEW or any other wrestling venue, it's all hyper egos. And with everything going on in the world, I hate to be the guy, but with everything going on in the world, changes have to be made. We have to recognize and stop and prevent this kind of stuff.
Yeah, but the issue, as with everything else, is why wait 4 years to say something? Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon of stuff that's happening.
Yeah, but Jeff, you got to understand, it takes a movement like this for people to feel comfortable enough to come out.
I know.
If you're looking at your livelihood and you're looking at, stability and all this stuff, what sacrifices are you willing to make?
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff, I know for your glorious job in the sanitation career, you took a lot of,
poop, shit,
advances.
I mean, I was thinking
other things.
To get ahead, but
right. It's interesting because you had Keith Lee come out with a story about getting drugged and then waking up in a hotel room naked and not remembering how he got there. Like, and that was something when he put it on, he said he's told nobody. He's never told his family, his friends.
Who?
Like,
he's a big dude.
He's a big dude. He said his woman was coming on to him a bunch of times. He said no. She bought him a drink to apologize, and then he wakes up naked in a hotel room. And like, who drags Keith Lee out?
And now he's got some baby somewhere that he doesn't know
about. There's a Keith Lee baby out there, probably. It's
Keith Lee babies.
Weird. Now, I do have to question, I'm actually surprised or shocked that this hasn't hit, like, mainstream media.
Yeah, it's just like in the wrestling.
Right, it's just in, like, wrestling. Like, we all know about it. It's a huge thing amongst, like, our Twitter. Yeah. Like, wrestling Twitter. It's, like,
but
massive.
It's not on Fox or CNN.
But it's not on Fox, not CNN. Now, you did have Fox. They canceled Backstage. They didn't want anything, so that extra show that they were doing, hosted by Renee Young, is done.
But if she tested positive...
Right. If she tested positive for Corona...
Yeah.
Let's see. She also interviewed Jeff Hardy just a couple days ago, live in the ring.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure she was there. She was there at the same night. I don't know how close, with Ric Flair.
Yeah.
And apparently, it's come out that there was that one person that tested positive like a few weeks ago, actually tested positive like a week before they told everybody, and they just didn't tell anyone.
Was that the Miz?
It was probably the Miz. Let's be honest. It was probably the Miz.
Why are we picking on the Miz?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there was that thing.
I'm going to say it was Morrison.
Right.
He was sick and came in, a month ago or something, and it pissed people off. That's all. I'm not picking.
Because he was sneezy.
Mm-hmm. Sneezy. That's all. Just allergies.
They had sneezels.
They had to change their taping schedule.
Right.
So they just pushed it back a day.
Right, exactly.
To do.
Well, I mean, that's how you fix a pandemic, is just not shoot for a day.
Yeah.
Right, because this magical spray that Triple H said that they could spray and would keep surfaces sanitized for like 2 weeks apparently didn't work.
Well, it works there. It doesn't work everywhere else.
We've been doing that at my job.
Yeah, it's totally
magical Jesus spray.
Magical Jesus spray that makes everything clean.
And I'm fine.
Yeah. I mean, Jeff licks tables and windows every day.
Uh-huh.
Look at him. He's fine.
Well, he is a window licker.
You got to get it wet.
You got to get it wet with your tongue.
Yeah.
With your tongue.
Now, you have to wonder, at what point is WWE almost liable for what they're doing? I mean, if this does nothing but prove the fact that wrestlers need a union, to be like, hey, we shouldn't do this.
No, if they gave their talent the option of not coming, which I've read, that's why some people haven't shown up. Like,
but is it a real option, or is it like
KO's pulled himself out?
Right.
Like, some people, if they have the option of not showing up, then there's no liability.
That's true.
We told them they didn't have to come.
Right. But like I said,
you're also not going to get paid if you're not in the ring. That's
is it a real option, or is it like, hey, if you don't show up, your storyline's cut and you're done? Like, like they just pretend Roman Reigns doesn't exist since he's not there. They don't even mention him.
That's why I like AEW better.
AEW mentioned the fact that Moxley wasn't there. They mentioned the fact that QT wasn't there. Because he's out too, because he was in contact with someone that tested positive.
Yeah, non-wrestling.
Yeah.
Maybe they were both with Renee.
Maybe. She's non-wrestling related.
She
doesn't
wrestle.
I know, but this whatever.
What if it was Renee and John, QT and Bunny?
I'd watch that. Like a lot.
Yeah, we probably would.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would. Yeah, because they're filthy animals.
Filthy. So when does Ric Flair die? Now because of this.
I'm surprised.
I don't know. I'm surprised he hasn't died yet.
How old is he?
I think he's 147 years old.
Is he in his 70s yet? 60s?
He's got to be in his 70s by now, right?
He's in his 70s.
Yeah.
He's in his 70s. I think he's like 71, 72.
Right, because he's got the same birthday as you, John.
No, I'm only 50-ish.
Ish.
49.
Plus 20.
He's 71.
71? He looks like he's 97 years old.
Well, he did have an illustrious wrestling career.
That's
somebody like this, with the liver that he has, his insides are all effed up from all the years of whatever.
He almost died like a year ago.
Maybe he's just pickled.
Or if he did, his body...
Maybe he's just pickled and corona resistant.
And he's
Maybe he's found the answer.
107.
Well, maybe his bloodstream is so full of alcohol from all those years that it's just automatically clean all the time.
But what are they doing with him? So they bring him back to be, what, a manager for Randy Orton?
That's what it seems
they're
like.
copying AEW with Arn Anderson and Jake the Snake. That's all they're doing.
So we do have to discuss this copying thing. So they did that with Ric Flair, like they're doing with Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. Now,
and Jake the Snake.
Now they have a 2-night event happening on NXT, very similar to Fyter Fest, and they're calling it the Great American Bash, using Dusty's name, basically, and an event he created. Like, I mean, that's just straight up petty, right?
Yeah.
Like,
they're trying to win the war,
but they're winning by copying.
But they're not winning.
If you can't beat your competition, try to do what they do better.
Just be your competition, yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, dudes. WWE, until Vince gets out of there, is never going to catch up, never going to be able to do the entertainment. The only thing WWE has is more money, so they may have the longevity to hold out.
Yeah.
The shows that AEW is putting out is better. Mm-hmm. I like the crowd. The way they do their crowd is better. Their tag team division, whatever you want to call it, is way better. I don't know if y'all watched Dynamite last night. The Lucha Brothers are back. There's going to be this big 8-man tag team that seems interesting. Mm-hmm. Butcher and the Blade took the freaking FTR's truck.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. They're I don't know. Come on,
and I mean, at Fyter Fest alone, they're doing
every
Jungle Express versus MJF and Wardlow, which sounds like the best tag team match ever.
AEW might, when all of this is over, a few years from now, might end up on top of the wrestling world.
I mean,
I'm just saying, if I was Fox, I'd rather do business with AEW right now.
Yeah.
I wonder if Fox is questioning their choice now because I'm sure AEW came to them around the same time they probably bought part of WWE. And I wonder if they're like, shit, we made the wrong choice. Like, we really should have gone for AEW instead.
There's probably got to be.
I know that's how I would feel.
Cancel a contract and but who knows with TNT? Like Fox and USA might have had to have an agreement because they're both in with this company.
Right.
Maybe TNT is like, no,
it's all ours.
I think TNT is owned by NBC.
Right. Mm-hmm. So NBC's not going to share with Fox.
No, but you start seeing NBC, you might see AEW on NBC at some point.
I mean, if it's getting bigger now.
You put AEW Dark on instead of YouTube. You put it on.
Yeah.
TNT and move Dynamite to normal TV or something. Who knows?
I mean, especially because nobody seems to care about WWE on Fox.
Nope.
Like, I honestly feel, just following Twitter and all that, like, aside from, like, the people that always watch it, I don't think anybody else is watching wrestling. So even though half the world is still stuck at home.
My prediction. We're going to go big prediction.
Big prediction. Uh-oh. Jeff the Wrestler.
Oh, wow.
John.
Couldn't remember his name earlier, but I remember now. Bray Wyatt is now third personality. He's going to beat Braun, get that belt. He's eventually going to beat Drew. Mm-hmm. They're going to unify one champion belt.
Okay.
Fox is like, screw SmackDown. So WWE's going to retract a little bit, and they're just going to have a wrestling show. Mm-hmm. Not Raw, not SmackDown. It's going to be WWE. Mm-hmm. One champion. One
champion, one show.
Then NXT will be their second show. Mm-hmm. So it'll be WWE and NXT. It won't be Raw, won't be SmackDown.
I don't know.
It'll still be 3 hours long. Mm-hmm. That's how they're going to try to win the war against AEW.
Right.
And their one show who's killing all three of their shows.
I understand what you're saying.
What?
But you're wrong, dude.
I told you I was going to go bold.
WWE is going to hold on to every air show they can get. They're going to try to run everything they can and hope something sticks. I think what you're going to see, my opinion, my prediction, what you're going to see is we're going to get rid of this PG mentality. We're going to go closer to the PG-13 that everybody loves from the AEW, and we're going to allow our talents to beat the shit out of each other. You're going to see more blood. You're going to see a lot more violence on WWE. Well, that's my prediction.
That's what we want.
I mean, yeah, obviously that's...
But that's a small picture. I want big.
You want bigger picture. Bigger picture.
Oh, and I'm saying bigger picture, AEW is probably going to burn out like WCW did.
You don't have faith that they're going to last long?
I think what's going to happen is with the talent and the, upward swing that it has right now, we're going to get some big heads, some personalities. And because the Khan family is allowing the wrestlers in AEW to basically run the show's going to go awry. Look what happened with WCW. They gave, permanent contracts. They let the talent predict their show, the storylines and all that. And those that made the money, like Hogan, Nash, Hall, they just ran away with it and took over the whole show and ran it into the ground. And when they were like, we're not going to perform anymore, but you're still going to pay us, all of a sudden you had the secondhand talent that just couldn't carry a card. Like, I hate to say it, but if you look at Brody Lee, I like the idea of having the leader of the Dark Order. I like all of that. I just don't think Brody Lee can carry that.
No, I think he was much better as Luke Harper. Yeah, I've seen a couple. Yeah. He was much better as Luke Harper, part of the Wyatt family, than he is as this. He has gotten better.
It's just he's not a fit for that character.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
I would have been Hardy, would have been better.
I think it would have been interesting to see them go with Christopher Daniels. Like, they kept teasing that it was going to be him. Having it be him and see where that kind of went would be interesting, at least to see.
Yeah.
At least to see how that went, but I don't know.
No, I'm just saying AEW, for as much as we love and enjoy it, is very susceptible to a lot of its own success. Meaning, the bigger they get, the bigger head you get. And I think as long as you have somebody, may it be Cody and the Bucks, or even Bucks and the Omega, maybe it's if they can keep a level head. But I think as they get bigger, you're going to see some self-implosion there. Just my prediction.
Well, I mean, you also have to look at the fact that, yes, AEW's winning the Wednesday Wars, but they're still only getting, 750,000 views, 780,000 views. Like, they're not getting millions of views, which I
get it. I
think Raw and SmackDown are they're suffering. They sometimes go lower, but they're still around 1 million. And then, Grocery Games gets 4 million.
And I'm surprised because with no sports on right now, like this, I know it's not sports, but you think people would start to watch it because they want some of that activity and violence and fighting.
Well, I laughed.
Turn in and they were like, what is this shit?
In my email yesterday, I got a thing from DraftKings saying, hey, predict who's gonna win on what NXT and win a guaranteed part of the $1,000 pot. And I'm like, we're betting on NXT Wednesday nights now.
We're betting on a show that's already been taped, is what you're doing.
Yeah.
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 Because they're doing 2 weeks of tapings at a time. So.
Oh, yeah, I think today they're taping Raw, SmackDown, and then tomorrow Raw and SmackDown.
Right. And then Saturday, Sunday they're doing NXT for the next 2 weeks.
AEW is doing live.
Once again,
most of them are live.
When they have what has been said to be anywhere from over 10 to 24 people test positive at the Performance Center. They said, one day off,
here's the mentality.
Let's get back to going.
The mentality. You already have it. Come wrestle. You're not going to give it to each other.
They're going to change the shows around. SmackDown will be the COVID zombies, and Raw will be the non-COVID.
And they'll just switch it.
Is that why they keep moving people?
Well, they did say, because it came out now that Florida is now has gone back to a mask mandatory state, where you have to wear the mask at all times when you're indoors. But they're getting around it by saying the Performance Center is a private venue, so therefore they don't have to make people wear masks.
I'm still stumped. You're selling your own damn masks online. Why
we're selling WWE masks.
Your fake crowd wear them?
Right. You can
pimp the merch.
Super close to each other. Might as well have them wear masks that you're going to sell.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
So what else can we talk about? Let's talk about good stuff, because this has been just shitting on everything so far.
All right.
Let's talk about things we've enjoyed. Besides, wrestling.
You know what
I've enjoyed? Anna J.
And Anna J.
I think we all enjoy one Miss Anna J.
Now that weird creature from the depths that she fucking fought.
Broke-a-donk? What's her name?
Broke a donkey. I think that's her name. Broke a
donkey. That's her name. Broken donkey.
Abracadabra.
Abaddon?
Just keep going, Jeff.
A big dong?
Big dong.
What?
Big dong. What was her
There it is.
I think it was
a big dong, right?
I can't.
I don't think it was a G.
I don't.
She scared the crap out of me when she came out.
She was fucking frightening.
That was something out of the ring right there.
Well, especially because I didn't.
I see what he did.
Something out of the ring.
Wrestling ring.
You think?
I was hoping you guys would catch that.
I was not expecting that. Like, I just hadn't known that she was going to premiere, and then I was like, that is some scary shit.
It's Abaddon.
Abaddon.
They did the whole thing with Anna J saying, I want to perform and I'm going to be a star in the ring. And I'm like, oh, they're really, giving her the hard sell. She loses, but I actually love the idea that the Dark Order comes out and says, it's okay, come with us.
Yeah.
We may have a... Mm-hmm. I mean, we may have like a new Anna J that isn't the superstar, just something evil, and I like it.
And she's actually one of the people that's also out because she's in the same like wrestling school as QT. So they took Anna J out for a couple weeks just to be safe. So I think what happened in her match, where the Dark Order sort of brings her in and then she disappears for 2 weeks, might end up being actually good for her whole storyline and character.
You can spin it and make it a good PR thing. I totally see that.
Yeah.
So a big dong is also known as the living dead girl.
I could see that. Yes, she is the living dead.
Yeah, she scares the hell out of me.
Scares the hell out of me.
And I like it, though.
I don't know why I love watching Cody talk on the mic and Jeff getting super annoyed that he has a list.
No. He has a list, yes, we all know that. It's usually not bad. But last night, if you watched it, I just said it was extra bad last night because when he tried to say...
Why do you discriminate? The guy has a list. Hey, you're not perfect.
Trying to say $3.67.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Did you watch any of them?
I did watch him, yes.
I watched the whole thing.
He's a friend of the show. I watch everything he does, Jeff.
It just came out really... a lot. And I was like, what's his problem tonight?
Jesus, so you hate everybody that has some form of speech impediment, do you?
No, he's a friend.
Oh, no. Please, defend yourself for picking on somebody with a speech impediment. A handicap.
Like
you hate people with handicaps, Jeff. The ref is biased against people that have handicaps.
No.
Everybody's getting this, right?
Sometimes he can control it, or like if he thinks about it, he can...
What a straight hater.
But then when he's just going...
Listen.
It was...
Jeff the ref's opinion is not shared by the show.
Like
so people, if you're listening to this, don't think that the rest of us share this opinion. We respect and love everyone.
Right. And we love Cody Rhodes. He's a friend of the show.
He's a friend of the show.
Jeff hates him.
Nope. You know who I don't like?
Who don't you like?
Charlotte. She's going to be gone.
You know what? She broke a boobie or a collarbone or something.
Yeah,
maybe she broke...
bone, right?
Supposedly.
Yeah. Supposedly. So she's going to be out. But going back to Jeff's conversation, I actually enjoyed, as much... I'm not a big Jake Hager fan, but as much as I'm not a fan of his, I love the fighter feel and the exchange with him and the wives at the podium last night.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it was very
UFC press conference-ish.
Yep.
Which I enjoyed.
But I liked it. It was kind of refreshing, and it wasn't like in the middle of a ring with the table and we automatically know somebody's going to be thrown through the table.
Right.
So it was funny because Hager was like, you ready? And Cody's like, yeah, let's do this. Mm-hmm. Cameraman. And they got up there and like posed and did all that. It was good. It was funny.
I just think AEW is still just doing everything so much better.
They got a little bit of comedy. They got some violence.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. How do you guys think of Colt Cabana and Brody Lee teaming together?
It's
and
weird.
What do you think of the Rainbow Bright Colt Cabana tights? Did anybody get the LGBTQ community shine there?
It's a weird combo, but I can kind of see Colt Cabana kind of changing and getting a little bit darker.
Well, yeah, because he is a very super happy man.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Mm-hmm. It could be good things. It could end up being stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see him being the manic happy.
Okay.
Like kind of the Johnny Gargano.
Mm-hmm.
You know how now that he's, a heel, him and Aunt Candace both are like retarded crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not even a good crazy with those two.
We don't use words like retarded.
We care about our listeners.
You know what? You're right. But because I listened to you go on about how we hate everyone with a handicap, I reverted back to words we shouldn't
Only
use.
lisps, not handicaps.
That's a handicap, Jeff. Next thing you know, people in wheelchairs you're just going to push over.
Like
What's
Britt
wrong
Baker?
with you?
I think I really want to buy her role model T-shirt. That's ROLL.
I do too. I love how they keep having her where she's looking over the back of the shirt and it was like on a box of Wheaties, then it was on the cover of Time magazine. I'm totally buying into this cheeky humor with her. Yeah. I love it.
And I love the fact that they've taken an injury that actually happened and they have to deal with, but still doing something with it.
Hilarious.
To
like last night when they had the plexiglass around the Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
The Rolls Royce.
Good times.
See, that's what
I like that she writes notes and makes Tony Schiavone read them.
I know, it's great. It's the PG-13 violence, because that's what we grew up watching, that type of wrestling. Right. And we're Americans, we like violence, right? But then they have a good comedic.
Yes, they got the funny in there, but
it's not dumb comedy like Lana Lashley
or like Uzi Hot or whatever that shit was.
Speaking of Lana Lashley,
yes,
they're getting divorced.
What?
Now, I will say this: I love the fact that as soon as Heyman left, Pritchard's like, "This shit's got to go."
Yeah,
I like the fact that they're giving MVP a stable. It's going to be him, Lashley, I think Apollo Crews, and probably the Profits.
Now, we have talked about this, John, via our T3 text, which is, I love the idea of the stable, but I just don't like MVP.
So, hold on. I don't have a
problem with MVP.
If you want to hear PC, mute this for a second.
Okay. What are you going to say?
Oh, no.
Probably going to piss some people off.
Person. Oh, you've already pissed off the entire list community.
So the MVP stable that you just mentioned, who's it?
Just remember, folks, his opinion is shared only by him, not by the entire show.
It's Lashley. He's trying to get Crews in there. Maybe the Street Profits.
Is he trying, or is that what you two are saying?
That's what we're saying. That's what he's trying to get. He's trying on Crews.
Who is going to be the token? They have to.
Wait, what do you mean by token, Jeff?
What?
What do you mean by token, Jeff?
Who would it be?
Remember the times we are in and the riots and all the change that is about. Please mark your words carefully.
I'm just saying.
We understand what you're saying. WWE has a very bad problem with taking like-cultured people and putting them together.
No.
Kind of like having Andrade and Garza with Zelina Vega, be a faction. Then you have MVP, MVP, Lashley, probably Apollo Crews of like color being a faction.
Right.
I don't think that's right.
No.
You even have Rollins,
making a division.
Theory, and Theory was the Caucasian male and the Hispanic faction, and he got kicked out.
He got kicked out
so that he
go
could join the Caucasian faction.
Right.
Yes. Why are we segregating races and all that in WWE? It's not right.
That's where I was going. I was just trying to be funny about it.
Because it's Vince.
All right.
That's why.
I'm not going to be funny about race relations and all that, especially right now. I'm just saying, I think it's completely wrong that the WWE segregates its talent, especially in this time and age where we're all should be forward-thinking and everybody should be able to wrestle anybody they want and with whom they want.
Yeah. And I hate to say it because we harp on it pretty much every episode, but I feel like that's totally a Vince thing. Still.
I agree. He thinks it's funny.
Yeah. He thinks it's like, no, this is the way it has to be. No, it doesn't have to be that way. At all.
It goes back to his comments about, what do the American people know? Who would like an Asian woman?
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Jeff. I know you were trying to take a spin on this, and I guess I am hypersensitive to it because of everything that's going on in the world right now.
Well, you're also hypersensitive.
I'm not messing with
it.
I get it. Mm-hmm. But you know what's going to happen. They're going to make this group.
But if I choose to identify as a woman, Craig, I have every right to do so.
You do, John Owena.
I don't know what my female name would be. I think my female name is going to be Becky Lynch, the man.
Oh, Becky Lynch.
So, or they'll make the stable, add the Prophets, and they'll add the Raiders, so it could be the Viking.
I do enjoy the Viking Prophets or the Street Raiders.
The worst part is we are so racist in the WWE that you have a gang of ninjas, and Akira Tozawa has now become mentally challenged.
Right. So is that big guy Titus O'Neil?
I don't know if it's Titus or if it's Shaq.
It's not Shaq.
I don't know who it is.
It seems to look like Titus to me.
He does a lot of background
stuff.
No,
Titus isn't that fat.
But I can see them using him.
That one ninja, he wasn't strong like Titus. He was just like tall and fat almost.
With very Shaq-like.
Yeah, I was just going to go, he's probably a full sales talent that they just are like, hey, put this on.
Hey, put this big guy on.
We got it at Party City, so it'll fit you.
It's a double X. You'll fit fine.
It's a double X. And you get to wear a mask. How awesome is that?
How awesome is that? You're more protected than anybody else.
So
I don't like what WWE
I don't know.
is doing.
I do like the Strowman Bray Wyatt stuff. I love old Bray Wyatt. Old Bray Wyatt from Wyatt family is my favorite Wyatt. That's when I fell in love with him, and then they just killed him.
Well, and that's I read that's the plan, to have him have these like 3 different personalities and kind of run with that storyline. Not that he's crazy, he just has these personalities, and I think eventually he'll be able to control. So they're recreating Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, and Dude Love.
Got it.
Just with dark.
But it works, and I'm for it. I like it.
It does. I honestly love it too.
I honestly think they did it right when they had the Firefly Funhouse promo come out with Braun Strowman, and all of a sudden at the end, he's like, Bray Wyatt, and he's like, I made you, and I'm going to break you.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's how you do it.
Yep. Well, and I think one of the things I enjoy about it is that it means that WWE writers or whatever are actually looking at what they did before, instead of pretending like it never happened.
Or Bray,
like to have Bray against what we're doing. Right, to have Bray against Strowman and pretend like they weren't in the same team for like a year, only like 2 years ago. Like, which is what they normally would do. I kind of like that they're actually being like, no, like, we recognize this was a thing that happened.
Well, I think whoever realizes the Fiend kind of lost some steam. So then now you got Bray Wyatt as the Funhouse Bray Wyatt.
Right.
And he came out and wrestled that way once, and the fans were like, so, well, let's try this, but we can keep the Fiend because people like it, even though it lost some steam. So what they're doing with all that is good.
Right, exactly. Is there anything else we like that they're doing at WWE?
I got a question. I don't know if it's alike, but if they take the 2 NXT belts and make one, what's the purpose?
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's why my big plan fits. Maybe they don't shut down SmackDown or Raw, but that big plan I talked about earlier, maybe they unify the red and the blue belt and back into one belt. I don't know.
I think the reason they're combining the belts on NXT.
Yeah.
I think the reason why they're combining the belts on NXT is they just don't have the talent on NXT right now to carry 2 belts.
That's true.
When you have
Keith Lee, I like 2 belts because I like multiple people going for belts.
You need
just one.
You need the heavyweight belt, and then you need the mid card belt.
You need the secondary belt for the secondary talents.
Now I agree. Like to have the SmackDown champion, the Raw champion, the Intercontinental champion, the U.S. champion, the 24/7 champion. I think that's too much.
Yes.
I agree with you. I think you should have one main title. You should have the Intercontinental Championship on one show, the U.S. Championship on the other show. Those are your number 1 contenders for the champion. That way your champion can... We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
It makes no sense how and why they're doing it. And then NXT, I think, was like, like you guys said, let's have more belts so we can have more people competing for belts on TV. But if you don't have the talent for it, how do you do that?
Yeah.
Like, let's look at the women's championship. The women's championship in the WWE and the tag team championship is held by the same goddamn person because they don't have enough talent to spread it out.
Exactly.
And they're not using the talent they have. So it's just not right. And if you look down at NXT, they need to bring all those females up because they're talented enough, and at least you can have a broader base. Or I don't know. WWE isn't doing anything right in my opinion right now.
I want to see one Wyatt personality win one belt, the second one win another belt, and the third one win a different belt. And he just has all three. He has to wrestle as three different people. So one night he might wrestle as the Fiend with this belt, and then at the end of the show he's got to come out as old Bray Wyatt with the other belt.
I think Jeff just wants to see Bray Wyatt wrestle himself and see what happens.
Well, the problem with that, Jeff, is
their production matches.
The problem with that, Jeff, is you're going to get super bored watching the same wrestler have the same match.
I know.
Twice in a show.
I'm just spitballing and throwing out ideas here. That's all. That's all. Creating conversation.
No, I'm with you.
Throwing shit against the wall. See what sticks.
See what
That's
sticks.
all. That's all.
I mean, that's what Trump does, right?
Yeah. That and stop testing. Anyway.
There's a lot of shit on the wall.
Here's the thing.
Probably
WWE was not testing anybody.
laden.
They had no positive test.
Right.
They started testing people. Now half of the company is positive.
Right.
So if they don't test, you won't have any positives. You just keep going.
I mean,
It sounds like something the president would say.
Sounds like what?
Something the president of the United States would say. The only reason we're having so many more new cases is because we're testing more people.
It's our own fault, really.
Yeah.
It's our own fault.
And we brought it on
Makes a little
ourselves.
bit of sense. Just a little bit.
Hey, listen, we're not talking politics. If you want that, go to something like The Wrestling Life.
They're much better at that than we are.
Yeah, we don't talk that stuff.
What we do is a pickup
You
challenge.
said do-do. You said do-do.
That's our level of intelligence. Is
There you go. Let's talk about Backlash.
What?
Let's talk about Backlash.
Let's talk about Backlash. We have our pickup challenge.
I won, right?
Backlash.
What does anybody remember them liking or not liking about the show?
Let me see what the matches were.
I enjoyed the Edge-Orton match more than I thought I would, based on what they did before.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Edge-Orton match, on Instagram yesterday, Edge shared pictures of them reattaching his tricep.
Oh.
It looks like bloody roast beef.
Oh, stop.
There's 3 great pictures, and I was sitting there going, that's kind of cool. My wife looks over my shoulder and says, oh my God, what are you looking at?
Oh, I remember this now because,
was it the greatest match ever?
Yes, the greatest wrestling match ever.
It was a good match.
I still don't understand who...
You were not allowed...
We enjoy it because we all love the movie and the soundtrack to The Greatest Showman. But who thought that song going with wrestling was like a... And then the way they did that match where everything was dark, and then it was like, and then the light went up, like it was like, come.
How'd it go?
What? You didn't hear me?
How'd it go?
You have to go back and listen.
Say it again.
That?
No.
I wasn't listening to either one of you.
Not the thing to 18.
The beginning of Greatest Showman. You were singing John Cena's theme song.
It sounded like that's what you said.
Anyway. You can never come out and pre-tag a show as the greatest match ever.
You can't.
That's something that is bestowed on a match after it has been done and everything.
No, that's
that
not
was
any
the greatest
pressure
match
at all.
ever.
Not any pressure at all.
But the backwards minds of WWE decided to do that.
Because that's what they do. That's what.
If I tell you it's great, you'll believe me.
It was a good match.
You'll love
was it the greatest wrestling match ever?
No.
I mean, I'm trying to remember what else from that night I cared about. Aside from
I was
winning the tag team belt, coming Dos Strapos.
I like the Miz and Morrison music video premiere.
The new one? Yeah.
Hey,
I like that. I also hate the cheesy way they made it like, oh no, only one of you can have the belt, so whoever pins Strowman can have it, but you can both wrestle him.
Yeah.
So we knew they were going to lose instantly.
Of course. I will say
I hated the fact that I wanted the match between the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits
to be a
and instead I got a shitty ninja movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was so weird. I don't understand what the purpose of that was. That idea, we already made fun of the ninjas, but I don't even understand what the purpose of them doing this whole build-up to anything you can do, I can do better, to then be a match that wasn't a match, to then them have a match a week later on the show. Like, I don't...
Yeah, but, I mean, we get the build-up of, hey, we're family now, and we got your backs, and we're best buddies. You know, the white tag team and the African-American tag team can get along. But when we're in the ring, fam, it's on.
Fam.
I don't. If you have to work that hard to show unity among your wrestlers, and to show that WWE is conscious of what's going on in the world, you got issues, WWE.
Yeah,
they do.
I did.
All right, so I keep talking about everything I hate.
The Drew McIntyre-Bobby Lashley match, in my opinion, was probably the best I've seen Bobby Lashley in a very long time.
And when you have two big bodies just in a ring beating the piss out of each other, I enjoyed it.
It's a lot of beef.
It's like two double beef and cheddars from Arby's just going at it in my belly.
I'm hungry now. Again.
Yeah, you're welcome, Jeff.
Welcome.
I want a suggestion.
But I can't, like you said, we had the Assets winning the belts. Again, a non-tag team having tag team belts.
They were a tag team before.
They are two individuals that come out.
Best women's tag team ever.
They come out to individual songs. They're not a tag team.
Yeah, they're not a straight team. The Iconics is probably the only tag team in the women's division.
I think they are.
Because Bliss and Cross are not a tag team. And then that's it.
I mean, because it's not even anybody on NXT that's a female tag team.
All the other female tag teams, they just randomly put two people together.
Yeah.
The routine ones are Assets.
Bliss Cross Applesauce.
That's what we call it, but that's Bailey and Bliss. Or Bailey and Sasha.
Boss Hug?
I said, we call them the Assets.
Well, yes.
I'm just letting our fans know we call them the Assets, but it's the Hug Boss combination.
Hug Boss
WWE
connection.
called them something, and Bailey went off on Twitter. It was like, that's not our name.
But I can't remember what else. I didn't care about the Hardy-Sheamus match.
Nope.
Not in the least.
I don't think anybody thought Nia Jax was going to win the belt from Asuka.
Nope.
At least according to our pick'em, nobody picked that. Apollo Crews and Andrade.
Meh.
I didn't even see it because it was the pre-show. So
it was a good match, but I've already seen it 3 times on SmackDown.
Right.
Or on Raw, so I don't need to see it anymore.
So now we come to the inevitable part that you and I hate, John, which is where we have to talk about who won the Pick'em Challenge this time.
This guy.
So let's...
Nope.
John, the
not
legend.
You, John. Not today.
The icon.
Not today.
Points of note, Johnny Cash Money did not do well. He got 16 points, which was our lowest points of the event.
Still around?
But he did get one less point than John, who got 17 points. Woohoo! So, John, you got next to last.
Hey, if you're ahead of last.
Well, I mean, I'm just letting you guys feel good about yourselves.
You're a winner because you didn't come in last.
That's right.
The Bald Monkeys podcast, they had that perfect score last time.
Cheated last week.
This time they went down to 21, so they were second from last.
So probably where they need to be.
So good. That's good. We didn't want them showing us up too much. We had a 3-way tie of 25 points between Chai, a legend, and the legend Killer Colin.
I could group them all together.
Second place went to the Wrestling Life at 26 points, and then the winner with 27 points.
The winner? Hey, where were you?
I'm at 22 points. I was third from last.
Oh, okay. You didn't mention that.
Why would I mention how much I sucked?
Yeah.
But Jeff...
But who won?
Jeff the Ref won with 27 points. Technically, almost a perfect score, because the only one he got quote-unquote wrong was the Profits versus Raiders, which didn't have any winners, so nobody got points.
So essentially I got all the matches
Essentially he got all the matches right.
Wow.
Even a blind monkey finds love once in a while.
That's not the phrase at all. That a blind monkey finds love every once in a while is...
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, I think it's
I'm pretty sure...
Wow.
It's not
I'm pretty sure grammatically I hit it right on the head. Got that.
Right on the head. So, yay, congrats, Jeff. So.
All right, let's move on to something we want to talk about.
Fyter Fest. So Fyter Fest is going to go over 2 nights, July 1st and July 8th. So since the first one is going to happen before we post our next episode, we should talk about Fyter Fest and what we want to happen.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So, we have
Moxley and Cage, right?
Moxley Cage isn't listed. It was talked about. It's not listed on there anymore. Don't know if that means they're just waiting to see what happens.
Renee, I mean, we talked about it at the top of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Moxley's showing up because Renee's all sicky sick.
If she actually tested positive and he has to quarantine, he definitely won't be there the first week.
Well, and it was actually his choice to stay home.
Yeah.
Because he tested negative.
Yeah.
Well, but they came out and said, one, he is like, it takes 4 days to be positive.
Yeah.
You've been around one. And 2, apparently Renee Young was actually very sick.
Yeah.
And like bedridden. And he was like, I'm not fucking leaving my wife to go do this wrestling show. I'm going to stay home. And it actually is nice because Tony Khan came out and said, we fully support you. Family always comes first. You know, AEW will be here when you get back, and so will your belt. You know, do what you need to do.
A good show. You don't have to have the champ on every single.
Right, exactly. And like you said, if he takes the 2 weeks, he can still be there for the July 8th section of Fyter Fest.
It's not like he's fighting both nights.
No, exactly.
Every belt's on the line, but it's spread out over the 2 nights.
So let's start at the beginning of friend of the show, the one that Jeff hates, Cody.
I don't hate Cody.
Current TNT champion.
He discriminates against.
Assholes.
He likes to discriminate against because he has a handicap, a speech impediment.
He's not handicapped.
We respect you, Cody.
But he's against Jake.
We respect you, Cody.
What do we say, boys?
I say Cody keeps it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that's boring because we all say the same thing.
All the Arn Anderson talk of, I told Cody he wasn't ready to go up against this guy because he's big and strong, and they'll end up winning it.
Right. Mm-hmm. I agree. The other belt match we have is Omega and Hangman Page.
All of them are belts.
Versus
other
not
belt
all
match.
of them. Jurassic Express versus MJF and Wardlow. Private Party versus AT&T. Anyway,
all right.
We have Omega
Jurassic
and Page
Express
versus
against
Best Friends.
whom?
Omega and Page versus Best Friends. Who are we thinking?
I think this is where they lose the belt.
Because we are the best
I think this is where they lose the belt and Best Friends takes it.
That's what I think. Let's go, friends.
Guys, this is...
With as big as Orange Cassidy is right now...
What?
You need to stop, Jeff.
Why?
You need to stop following in my footsteps. It's time for you to grow your own wings and fly. I'm going to kick you out the nest.
Sheeta, current women's champion of the women's bracelet / thing that's...
Holy Sheeta.
It's so tiny. Versus Penelope Ford.
It's a belt on her.
It's a belt on her.
I'm going to go
Sheeta keeps it as much...
I said
because it was supposed to be Sheeta and Britt Baker.
Right.
And Penelope Ford has just been put into that slot. I think Sheeta holds it. Penelope Ford gets the exposure. Good on both of them.
I agree. I would agree, especially since, like you said, it was supposed to be Britt Baker. They're just going to wait until she's able to come back and then do that Sheeta versus Baker. Now we have Jurassic Express versus MJF and Wardlow. Again, not for belt because it's all not belt matches.
So last night on Dynamite,
well, he does have the ring.
He does have the ring, but he doesn't lose that.
And
right?
if you noticed, MJF has talked about Wardlow as an employee, not as a friend.
Right. So
there's some stress going on there.
There could be. Wardlow last night kind of killed Luchasaurus.
Right. Mm-hmm.
This is a tough one.
I'm going to go with Jurassic Express to win this one because they don't win a lot. And I think we're going to see the breakdown of Wardlow and MJF in this match.
You know what?
It's going to do it.
So I'm going to go.
You don't think they're going to wait? Yeah, I mean,
they've kind of been building MJF and the little guy.
Mm-hmm.
Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy.
Sorry.
The little guy.
The little guy.
Now
The
you're
little guy's
going to
actually
be-
Margaret Stunt.
I'm going to go.
Yeah,
you know
well,
what?
I'm just going to say, you're going to be discriminatory on a man's size?
You picked the Jungle People.
Jeez.
I'm going to go MJF and Wardlow.
Jeez.
I think they're going to stretch it out a little bit longer. I think MJF will use
Hater, the ref
end up
is.
winning, and then I think we'll see this again down the road.
I'm going to go with MJF and Wardlow winning, but at the end of the win, that's when the turn happens.
Somehow, yeah.
That's when the turn happens.
MJF's going to use the ring. They're going to win.
Something's going to happen, and that's when the turn
Or he's going to try to use the ring, and the guy's going to duck. He's going to hit Wardlow.
He's going to hit Wardlow,
Yeah, it's going to be some shit. But
Private Party versus Santana and Ortiz.
What belts are they wrestling for, Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff.
The dumbest match belt. I don't want to watch this match. I'm going to go with
I
Private Party.
do.
What?
I'm going to go with Ortiz and Santana.
It's going to be a good
I
match.
love those two guys.
Have they
They're
won
hilarious to me.
anything? Have Santana and Ortiz ever won a match? It seems like they just lose all the time.
Didn't they win last night?
No.
Did they win last night? I didn't watch all of last night.
I didn't watch all of it. Well, it was on. I wasn't watching.
Wait, you guys are
Pull
on
back the curtain and realize
a
neither me or Jeff
wrestling
finished
show
the
and you
episode.
didn't watch the whole thing?
Did you watch the whole thing, John?
I think so.
No,
So who won that match?
No, it was on for the.
My eyes were closed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Santana and Ortiz. I like them more than Private Party. I just kind of always have. I'm gonna go with them. And then we have the 8-man tag team match: Lucha Brothers versus Butcher and the Blade versus the Elite versus FTR.
Hold on.
Yes. Pause.
My earbuds went out.
Oh my goodness, Jonathan.
Is it echoey or can I keep going with this?
No, you're still fine.
We can't hear you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Butcher and the Blade and FTR.
No.
Butcher and Blade.
We've
FTR,
seen this one
Lucha
before.
Bros, and the
No,
Elite.
no, it's the Lucha Brothers and Butcher and the Blade.
Okay.
Those four against the Elite and FTR. It's an 8-man tag match, 4-on-4.
All right. So we're talking about FTR, Butcher and the Blade.
No.
The Elite and FTR together versus Lucha Brothers and Butcher and the Blade together.
Yeah.
So
That's what I was getting at.
You said
FTR and the Elite.
you said versus the Elite.
No.
Yes, you did.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jeff.
Because we both said no over here.
No.
So Lucha
I
Brothers
don't know what you got to talk
and the Butcher and the Blade versus the Elite and FTR. I'm going Elite and FTR.
Okay, just to be ornery, I'm going to go Butcher and the Blade and the other guys.
Why?
Just to go against Jeff?
Just to go against Jeff.
Well, I'm going to go Elite and FTR because I like FTR more than I like Butcher and the Blade and their weird S&M stuff.
In all honesty, I'm picking the Lucha Brothers and Butcher and the Blade because we've seen FTR beat Butcher and the Blade twice now.
True.
And I think it's not going to be a straight finish. I think it's going to be a heel turn finish or heel finish. So it's going to be a dirty finish.
So if they do the Moxley versus Cage, we'll put it on there. If they do that, who do we say is going to win?
I think Moxley.
I say Moxley.
Yeah, I think we all do.
I think Cage just got here.
I think he's good. I mean, I think he's got potential.
Big and strong. They need to build him up or his storyline or something more.
He's a lot like Lesnar where he's just one-dimensional.
Yeah.
He's a big beast in the ring. You want to see him beat the piss out of people, but when you got to team him with a Taz, a.k.a. Heyman Jr., there's something there that they're saying, hey, we need to develop this talent more. Now, do I think AEW has the ability? Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I love him with Taz. I mean, I've kind of known of Taz, but I haven't been like watching him until he started showing up on here, and he's great on the mic. I mean, he is basically a Heyman Jr., but still, he is great on the mic. I think it's smart for them to put him with Cage, who seems like he's just a big rock.
Yeah.
And that is it, gentlemen. We'll put up our Fyter Fest picks. I'll let the other participants know, and we'll see what's going on. I think the next thing we have going on after that is Extreme Rules. from WWE. And then after that is supposed to be SummerSlam, which Vince seems to think is going to be in front of a crowd. And they need to start booking venues now, which is what he said at the last meeting, apparently. That's just totally not happening, right?
No, I think he's totally dead on.
Mm-hmm.
Vince knows his shit.
I mean, they've already come out, and there are certain states, such as California, Washington, New York, where if you come from other states...
Well, Connecticut's one of them.
Yeah, in Connecticut.
That's the issue.
You can't, you got to quarantine for 2 weeks if you come into, California from Connecticut, from Florida.
And Connecticut's doing that. So
Connecticut's doing
that's
also,
the issue because over half of WWE's workers are in Connecticut.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they go down to Florida, which is one of the hot spots.
Right.
So when they come back to Connecticut,
they got to quarantine for 2 weeks.
So it's a thing.
It's a thing. So
that thing.
It's not looking good. We're not going to have in-arena wrestling
until 2021.
I was going to say, do we have it this year? Or are we just going to say 2021?
Not with fans. If baseball's doing no fans, football's not going to do fans. They're doing this weird, keeping all the teams in one spot, kind of like WWE's doing the Performance Center, AEW's doing it Daly's place. We're not going to have real fans.
Mm-hmm. I will say the thing that the company I feel that is doing it the best and at least the most exciting is, have you guys heard what UFC is doing with their fighters? Where they have Fight Island.
Have they actually done that? Because the last two cards that they've done have been in Florida.
Right. They're apparently filming 5 cards in a row on Fight Island, where they have half of an island that is completely to themselves.
Yeah, they bought
with their own hospitality, their own entertainment, all that sort of stuff, and octagons. And there at least is an octagon on the beach. I don't know if that's what they're going to do, matches, or if they're just doing workouts. But if I see a fight in an octagon on a beach with torches all around it, this is awesome.
Fight Island to me sounds like a B movie. Sounds like a B movie. And if they're fighting in the ring, zombies are going to come out and they're going to have to fight the zombies.
So the other half of the island WWE should buy and send all their people down there.
I don't know what happened with AEW and why they didn't get in with Dana White and have Fyter Fest on Fight Island.
With wrestling and
this would have been the best thing. I would watch an entire
because Jericho already booked the cruise.
That's not going to happen. Jesus.
I'm just saying that's why they didn't go to Fight Island, because Jericho already booked the cruise.
Jericho has a cruise.
You know how when NXT did War Games, they had the 2 rings side by side?
Yeah.
You can have a wrestling ring and an octagon ring. You can have both going on at the same time.
You know what? Let's just get the trifecta, put a stage up, and you can have speed metal playing in the background.
Yes.
Put Slipknot up.
I would want to live on that island.
Octagon fighting and wrestling ring fighting all in one little triangle.
Cage and box and a no holds barred in that ring, and then the UFC going on with Slipknot in the background.
Yeah.
It'd be freaking insane.
And at some point they would switch rings, where they would start fighting in the octagon. And UFC fighters would move over the wrestling ring and start bouncing off the ropes.
Slipknot would have to run down on the beach because everybody would pile up on the stage.
This is the greatest thing. Why don't we write for wrestling shows?
Hey, I don't need to get a hold of the friend of the show.
Right. Let's talk to Cody.
But it can't be you because you hate him.
All right.
I'm not allowed. John won't let me.
Here we go. John, you contact Cody. I'll
get in touch with the Code Meister.
Right. I'm going to call Dana White. Jeff, you get a hold of Slipknot.
I'm just pumping ideas.
Right. You call Good Charlotte. Have them come and play music.
The Foo Fighters. You know what would be really good? What would be really good at this show would be Celine Dion. Let's get her there.
Singing that Ashes song from Deadpool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it's perfect.
It's a beautiful song on the perfect soundtrack. You retract what you said because that is just rude.
Rude.
So
wrong. I'm giving you the ugly eyes right now because you're just ugly in my world.
Mm-hmm.
Ugly eyes.
Ugly eyes.
Ugly eyes.
It's even funnier, guys, because we're not in the same room. But you don't know that because this is audio.
Oh, they'll know probably from the echo and background because now I'm just using my phone speaker to talk to you. That's how much I respect the two of you. I'm not even going to put in headphones or anything.
That's fine. We don't respect you either. But you know who we respect? our fans. And that's why they should follow us.
They should.
T3 Network on Twitter. T3 Network on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Now, we've been putting up our challenge for June, which is the 30-day movie challenge. So make sure you get on all of those socials so you can find out all of our things for all these themes.
Or,
gentlemen,
you could just wait until we drop the episode.
Or you wait until the end of the month and we're going to drop an episode where we talk all about it.
But gentlemen, we do have to consider, what are we going to do for the month of July?
I don't know. We've had the a food challenge that we found, discussing food. There was a cocktail challenge, drinking challenge discussed. I think we can come up with something. If anybody listening has one of those good 30-day challenges to give us, nothing with like exercise, because we don't do that. No, it has to be something where we.
So we did music already.
We did music.
That's up on the website.
It's up on the website. T3podcastnetwork.com. You can listen to it there.
Movies now, so we got.
You can go on Spotify and download the playlist.
You can download the playlist. It's
up on Spotify,
which is perfect. But yes, we got to think of something. I mean, that's pretty much what we enjoy, which is music, movies, and food.
So we do food and then decide after that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just saying we got to put that out there so that those that like to play along at home can.
I do like
the
drinking challenge though, because then we can just have a new drink every night and get drunk.
But my problem is I don't drink liquor.
Some of us have to work.
Schmirk.
Look, driving a big old trash truck, Jeff, is that really work, or is that just straight up balls on fun?
If I got a DUI, I would lose my job.
Who's going to drive the trash truck if Jeff has a DUI? Who, John?
Well, I don't know. I'm not qualified.
I can't. I
didn't get the fancy training he got.
Yeah. I just have brute strength to pick up trash cans and toss them in.
That's all we do. Mm-hmm. I pick things up, I put them down. That's what I do.
That's all I do. You can also call our hotline or text us, 202-516-4433, because, guys, the challenge is still out there. We need those 5-star ratings and reviews. We have not gotten any, which means I haven't been chopped.
Correct.
We have not gotten any texts or voicemails on our hotline, which means John has not been chopped.
Correct.
However,
that's right.
We are currently up to 62 Instagram followers.
Nice.
Which means we're getting closer and closer to 100. And when we get 100 Instagram followers, Jeff is getting double chopped.
And then I'm going to get followers and make sure they're valid.
Nope.
And there's no like robo followers or you donkeys have created like 32 other accounts.
I mean, just because the account We Need Jeff Slapped just started to follow us, I don't understand why you think there would be false accounts.
Chop the Ref is going to be a new one. I mean, I'm sure it's going to find its way onto Instagram.
And walk away from this.
This is the most exciting part of your week.
Yes,
you can't quit.
I know.
This is the most
you can't walk away from us, Jeff.
What?
You can't quit us.
You can't quit us. We're in you.
What?
What?
Hey, what?
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 Not good. Not good.
Thanks for joining us, folks, on episode 10 of Takedown. So glad you could follow us. Be sure to check us out next week when we have more content for you because we love you. Peace.
Get out of
It's a podcast! Gonna put the boots to his big ass. Cause nobody likes him, neither do we. Roses and beard smells like cheese. Send him a tweet and let him know you want a new champ on the show. Champion needs to go. Hey, hey, Braun wet the bed till he was 6 years old. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Braun Strowman's dumber than Lana's TikToks. Instead of dress shoes, this dork wears Crocs. Ew. Braun won't shut up about his hands, and that's a fact. This weirdo spent a whole damn year wearing a sheep mask. We're fixing to whoop his ass live on BBB. Gonna kick his kidneys so much that he pees. Send him a tweet and let him know you want a new champ on the show. ago. Hey, hey, Braun with the belt till he was 6 years old. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Braun Strowman's done them Lana's TikToks. Instead of dress shoes, this door wears Crocs. Ew. Hey. Ho.
T3 Podcast Network. Thoughts, theories, talk.